right, guys, how's it going? For those of you in the that are getting the video of this, you will see that I am in my work uniform. I haven't changed clothes yet. Yeah, I'm actually working a little bit. Welcome back to the show, guys. Sorry, I just kind of jumped into that. As you guys well know, I jump into these podcasts like that. Bam, I'm in, and let's go. It's pretty crazy. So today, as you see in the heading, or you will know, we are talking about, this is the anniversary, 1 year anniversary of starting the podcast. Over 1 year ago, we started this. And I wanted to do some fun little things, some cheeky little things. I keep saying cheeky. I don't know why. I wanted to do a couple things to where we can kind of go back and look and think about the year. It's been a ride, hasn't it? So we're celebrating, right? We're having a little celebration. What are we going to drink? Well, the only thing to drink in the shed, besides the Bunnahabhain that I still haven't decided if I'm going to put in there. I put a little bit. We're going to dip into our infinity barrel. Okay. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. Just a little bit. So I want to thank all of you for being here. Thank you so much for all the support, the love, all the things, obviously. You guys keep this channel going. You keep pushing me forward to do different and more and different and new things. I forgot to turn my record light on. Sorry, hold on. I know. This is high quality stuff here. No, but if I don't turn my light on, my son will run in here. Next thing you know, he's like yelling at me, about something. Anyway, all right. So let's get into it. A year ago, I decided on a whim to start a podcast because I I don't have a lot of whiskey knowledge. Like, I have whiskey knowledge, but I just wanted to have maybe somebody wanted to hear it. I enjoy podcasts. I listen to podcasts, and so I thought, well, why not? The people around me have heard my spiel, and why would they want me to talk to them anymore about it? So I just kind of said, well, I'm going to talk to somebody. So I talk to myself all day long. So why not do it on a podcast where maybe if somebody else wants to listen to it, they can. I'm smelling this infinity barrel. One of the things I wanted to tell you guys, and I was going to make a video on this, but I don't know if I'm going to. I put inside there an entire bottle of Grangestone. This is a Highland single malt Scotch, a sherried, because as you well know, if you've been following for a minute, this infinity barrel is going to be a sherry bomb single malt. It's not all Scotch. It's going to be sherry bomb single malts. So I put the entire bottle of it in there, probably 2 weeks ago, maybe. All right, let's get into it. The issue is that bottle's like 43%. It's not. So the whiskey that's in here is super nice. Whatever's in here. I'm not going to go over the list, but it's super nice. I think maybe after this little bit, I will break out some of the old-fashioned mead that I've been working on. Let me tell you a little story about that. I know this episode is going to be off the wall. It's not going to be so much talking about, when we're going to talk about whiskey, we're going to talk about things, but it's not going to be so much in depth. It's going to be more like a year in review type thing. And so we're going to just chat. We're just having a little chat, The old-fashioned mead that I made, and I made a bunch of videos for it on my YouTube. I was bottling it, and I'm giving away samples, blah, blah, blah. It's fine. I don't know how long I'm going to keep that up. I might cut it up maybe April 15th or something. I don't even know. But I bottled it. Well, when I bottled everything, I used regular bottles Here's one. Here's the wild turkey, and it went back in there. And this is just a transfer bottle. But I noticed it had a bunch of sediment in it. I did, crash it and all that stuff, but it had a bunch of sediment in it, so I just let it sit, and I'm going to siphon it off again because it's to be pretty clear. But it's turned out really good. So we might get into that a little bit later. I don't know how long this episode is going to be. I just wanted to come on here and tell everybody thank you and do that thing. Let's talk a little bit about podcasting in general. If you don't know, well, now you know. No, if you don't know, podcasting is a different thing. It's unlike, especially my type of podcasting. For one, it's very niche. It's very niche. Like you're talking about whiskey. That's what you're talking about, or whiskey related things. But it's also me talking to a camera or me talking to a microphone. You know what I mean? It just, I don't know. It doesn't, it takes a minute for you to get over that. It takes a little bit for you to be like, this is kind of weird. So I thought one of the cool things that we would do is I would actually share the very first episode, and we would just go through and critique it. Not the whole thing. We'd go through it and kind of critique it. Now, it's super cringe. It's loud. You can't hear it. I literally did it on my microphone on my headphones from my phone. Okay, so take that for what it is. You got to start somewhere, right? Now I have software. I have microphones everywhere. I have 2 cameras. I'm trying really hard. And the Patreon, they're going to get the video of this. Not that they want to see me, but they're going to get the video of this because they support monetarily. And if you guys want to support monetarily, go to patreon.com/thewhiskeyshaman and see if it's something you like. I do all kinds of stuff for them. Yeah, check it out. See if it's something you like. This is not an episode for shameless plugs, but at the same time, I got to promote myself a little bit here because it would not be without my supporters and the sponsors and all of that stuff. Without them, I mean, I would still be doing it, but it wouldn't be as good as I think it has got. We're getting some excellent guests coming on. I can't tell you. I can't preempt the ones that are coming on, but let me just tell you, it's going to be some bangers. It's going to be really fun. We just released, from the recording of this, we just released San Diego Distilling. These guys right here, San Diego, he sent me some really cool samples. I'm giving away one of those as well. Who else? Have we had on? Oh, Devil's River. We've had all of these guys. So the more I get out there, and if you guys want to request any distilleries or people that I need to talk to, please let me know in the comments or whiskeyshamanpodcast@gmail.com. Because, I'm trying to do this as hard as I can. But, you kind of get stuck in a rut. I'm trying to get back to work. I'm trying to do all the other things as well. So any help I can get from y'all, if you want to hear something. I know that Germ talked about rapid aging, and then I got Tobias with Ethos on. Or TOH, sorry, not Ethos, TOH. I got him on, and we talked. And so that's what I'm saying. Like this community is made to be built up, so please, feedback is best. If you can't do it on Spotify or Apple or Amazon or all the other platforms that I'm on, hit me up on my socials. And as of right now, my Instagram is back. I don't know what happened. There was a thing. We got a lot to talk about, guys. This is gonna be all housekeeping, maybe. I don't know. It's gonna be fun though. But this whiskey, it's still the issue. And it's not an issue. Here's the only issue that I have seen so far with the Infinity Barrel. Okay, and this is not a dig to Chris or Bad Mo Legacy barrels. There's little bits of char that get in your drink when you're pouring off the thing. I don't care, but like if I poured that for somebody else, they're like, "Oh, there's stuff in it," you know. The char is what you want. Obviously, it helps filter, it helps to mellow everything out. It does have pretty good legs on it. It's not super high proof. There's a couple of high proof things in there, but it's not super high proof. I could find the proof, but I'm not going to. It's 45, 48-ish. It's really light, really mellow, super crisp, but then it has that. Okay, so adding the Granger Stone or the Grange Stone, whatever you call it, it's a Total Wine type thing. It is a Scottish distillery that I forgot the name of. I was gonna remember so I could tell you guys, but just look it up. They do mass distilling for big conglomerates like Grange Stone and all these other ones. It's really light, really super sherry. Where was I going? I'm sorry. I got off kilter. Remember we put the Motoset Sun in the barrel, and this is not all talking about the barrel, I promise. We put the Motoset Sun, it was super sulfurous. Well, sherry notes on Scotch especially, they can be a little sulfurous as well. I enjoy that. I enjoy the difference of it, but it also sweetens it a little bit. So there's that. This is really mellowed, so to where the Bunnahabhain that I put in there, the one that I thought was peated and it wasn't really peated, but it is because it's like Bunnahabhain, they're Iowa, I think I'm going to add more. I really do. I think I'm going to add more because it gave it a good backbone, but there's no smoke, there's no brine, there's no ash, there's nothing in here that's going to make me think that it's going to turn people off. Because what I want to do is I want to give away, not now. It's going to be probably 6-8 months, maybe even a year from now. Maybe we'll do it on our second anniversary. I'll give away a bottle or samples or whatever. It's really good. It's really light, fruity, floral, all those things. And that's another thing that I don't really do a whole lot on this channel. And if y'all in the comments on the podcast, especially the podcast, if you want me to do more review type stuff, I will. I don't have a problem doing it. It's just there's a lot of other podcasts out there that's what they do. They do the reviews and they get the new bottle and they review it. That's really not my thing. I like to sit down and have a drink. I love reviewing whiskey as well. I do that on my Instagram and Facebook page. But it's just one of those things. But if you guys want to see that, I want to produce the content that y'all want to see as well. Or hear or whatever. Because to me, if I'm listening to a podcast about somebody talking about the whiskey, I can't see it, so it makes it difficult. When it's the personal podcast, I do release them to the Patreon, but I don't really want to release them out, in the world other than that, because I don't know I have to have something special for one, but then again, it's just me talking to a camera. It's not like it's not like I have fireworks going off and I'm pulling out the pappy and they don't see this, I'm not doing that. It's just me in my dirty work clothes. But you notice right here, I got my V-neck, right? My shirt, and you don't want to button it way up there. When I had a beard and when I had chest hair before, chemo robbed me of all that, the beard would cover it and it wouldn't be a problem. But now I'm like, my chest it's just weird to have your chest exposed for me. Depending upon who you are, having a chest exposed isn't horrible. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into the thing. Like I said, I've been doing the podcast for a year. I feel it's gone really well. Numbers are okay. They're not as high as I would want them. I don't know what I want. I don't know where everybody else's numbers are, so I don't know if I'm in line. I was ranked top 6 up and coming whiskey podcast, so take that for what it is. Somebody's listening, but numbers are okay weekly. here's what I do, and this is a little inside baseball. Let's talk a little inside baseball, and this is going to be pretty much the rest of the show. So if you don't like this type of content, there'll be another podcast for you next week. I just released 2 back-to-back distillery episodes, so because I wanted to get this one out the week of the anniversary. Anyway, a little inside baseball. Whenever I record a podcast, sometimes I'll record it a week or so in advance for the next week or the week after, and I try to release a podcast with a guest and a podcast by myself, just to kind of alternate, to switch it up a little bit. And I have so many podcasts coming up, personal and with guests, that I mean, I have no lack of content, is what I'm trying to say. But where was I going? Where was I going with that? I'm sorry. I'm losing track of my mind already. Inside baseball. Sorry. So what I'll do is I will, depending upon when the video needs to go, or the thing needs to go out, I always release on Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. For some reason, it's slower to load on Apple. It loads on Spotify right away, like within 15 minutes of, so like 10:15, it should be on there. But for some reason, Apple takes an hour or so. It's not a huge deal. It's not like people are sitting by, waiting for the new podcast to come out. I mean, I hope one day they're like, oh God, Whiskey Shaman's back on. I hope that happens one day. But right now, it's, it is what it is. So what I'll do is I will, the night before, the day before, sometimes I will load the podcast into the podcast platform and click schedule, because I schedule it. Obviously, I don't want it to just come on randomly on Wednesday night or something like that. And I think the Saturday morning is kind of a cool thing. I do it at 10 o'clock to where, like, if you want to listen to it right away, you can, but you don't have to. You listen to it when you want to. But a lot of people, like on Saturdays, they're mowing the yard, they're doing the thing. Put some headphones in, listen to a podcast and go mow the yard, or, weed eat or whatever. Work in the shed. I need to get in the garden, go work in the garden, put the podcast on. And that's why I'm trying really hard to make it entertaining, but also fun and funny. I'm not a funny person. I feel like I am, but some people say I'm not a funny person. Funny looking, I've heard that. No, I'm joking. But it's like, so I put it into the podcast platform and press send, and I don't get back into it until the next week when I go to put another one. Because I don't check the levels, I don't check the numbers, because it's not about the numbers. It's about creating good content for you guys. The best episode by far, other than on YouTube, which is weird. People watch, and so that's another thing. Let's talk about this. That's another thing that I've started doing. And if you guys don't like it, I'm sorry. I'm trying to work around all this stuff. I have been releasing, like, the video episodes. I have been releasing them the same time as the podcast, right? 10 o'clock Saturday morning. The issue is everybody wants to go watch it on YouTube, right? They'll go watch it on YouTube and they won't go to the Spotify or Apple Podcast. And so, like, my views on Apple Podcasts were really low because everybody was going to YouTube. The best one on YouTube right now was my episode with Chris Conrad from Badmo. Everybody really liked that. It had a lot of hits. I'm grateful for it. But I just wish that would have transpired over to Apple, which I know, and again, inside baseball type stuff, monetarily. And I'm not doing this to make money. Obviously, it costs money to get the bottles, to get all the things, to do the equipment and stuff. But monetarily, you're going to make more money on YouTube. You just will. The more subscribers, the more content you have, you're going to make more money on YouTube. Doing without a hosting platform that is pushing you, the hosting platform I have is a basic hosting platform. I've been thinking about changing. If anybody knows of any really good hosting platforms, I've talked to a couple of different podcasts, and they're like, "Hey, we got offered into X, and they promote us all over the place." The issue is you have to be, you can't just say, "Hey, I want to be a part of your platform." You have to be asked in, which, take that for what it is. So I would like to see, like, on the podcast themselves, monetarily, there's nothing coming in other than viewers and people listening, and some, I get a couple of subscribers on Spotify lets you subscribe. I haven't checked Apple in a while, but like I get like 4 to 5 thousand Spotify looks every month. I know that's not a lot, but people are coming and looking at the podcast. They're just not sticking around. And so I don't know if it's something I'm doing. I mean, I'm not trying to play the blame game at all, because, like I said, it's very nichey. It's one of those things. But there's like a lot of I guess they're called impressions or whatever you want to call them. There's a lot of those, but they don't stick around. Like the largest episode on Spotify or the podcast platforms was the one I did about yeast. Yeah, I'm like, I did an episode about yeast because it's very poignant to the thing. I have a Donna jug. I can't point like with my hand. It's weird. Like the camera's backwards, so I'm like, I have a Donna jug back there, which is basically, if you don't know anything about a Donna jug, it's used to propagate yeast, and people would take it home with them and stuff like that. It's just a prop. I like prop stuff. I think it looks cool back there. It's solid copper, has a little hose bib on it to where if you wanted to fill it up, you could pour some out. I thought about, propagating some yeast. Why not, Anyway, it doesn't matter. My wife propagates sourdough, which is a type of yeast. It's more of a lacto yeast. Anyway, long story short. So, I'm sorry. I'll go off on a tangent. Getting back to where we were. So the podcast platforms, they don't really pay anything. But on YouTube, if you get enough subscribers and you get enough followers and people clicking and liking and doing the thing, they pay you monetarily. I don't know how much it is, and then you have ads and, you get sponsors, those type of sponsors, not Badmo and C. Smith Whiskey and Mixology. Go follow all them guys. By now, If you don't know, you find out. But so what I started doing is I would release, it's been like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, or 3 weeks, I guess. I would release the podcast on the podcast platforms as a audio only, and then release the video on YouTube the next week. So next week, or you know what I'm saying, when this podcast comes out, you will have the video episode of San Diego. Okay. I mean, it's just I'm trying to get more people into the podcast thing and do the YouTube. I want everybody everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be greedy, but I want everybody everywhere. I want everybody to be like, oh, he has video to this as well. Everybody's asked me for video, and so I'm putting video out there, and have from the beginning, from the Moose episode, which I need to get Moose back on, and we need to talk. I would love to do a live stream with Moose. I feel like that would be really cool. I did not upload the last live stream I did for St. Patrick's Day. I didn't upload it as a podcast because I had other guests. It had a lot to do with the video part of it, and you can find it on my my YouTube, and I think the Facebook page has it as well, if you want to look at it or watch it or whatever. It's a little over 2 hours long. That was good. I gave away 2 bottles, like 4 samples. Yeah, it was pretty nice. Had quite a few people in the chat, which was cool. I was cool with that. But anyway, long story short, I'm trying to get. I would like to get Moose on a live stream to talk about and interact with the listeners a little bit. And I would say that one as a podcast, obviously. That would be a little different. It would be more like an interview style. But Moose is such a cool guy that like it would be easy for me to talk to him. All right, so I finished my little sample that I had, and we're not dipping too deep into it because I don't normally drink during the week, but we're celebrating, right? We're having an anniversary party, so let's pour a little bit of this. Now this is the old fashioned mead. And I don't know if y'all remember from the last time, or if I talked about it before. It was super cloudy. Now it has cleared out beautifully. Looks beautiful. It's like a golden amber with a red tinge to it. It's really nice. 22.5% alcohol. All right. So I'm gonna be sipping on this. Hopefully y'all are sipping on something too, because we're celebrating, right? We're celebrating. Oh man, it smells nice. All right, guys. Whoa, my mouse is being stupid. Okay, so let's dip into. Let's see if I can do this. Let's dip into. Maybe I can do that. Yeah. Okay. Here is episode 1. Episode 1 of the podcast. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play 10 minutes of it, and kind of we can do like a review of the podcast. My descriptions were super short. Tonight we get into what is the whiskey shaman and a whiskey sommelier. It's actually really good information. It really is. But anyway, let's get into it. Hopefully I can hear it. Turn it up a little bit for me on my end.
Hey guys,
I mean, it's not horrible.
To the Whiskey Shaman podcast. Today we're going to talk about the fact of what I use, why I use the Whiskey Shaman.
Okay. I'm gonna pause it right there. We're 23 seconds in. Here's the deal. Like when you start talking, and I still do it to this day, and I'm probably going to do it forever because my mind's thinking faster than my lips can say it, I guess. You start saying and this and that, and all these different things. When you're not sure of yourself, like I'm very proud of what I've accomplished and all of these things, but when you're not sure of yourself and you're doing something new for the first time, you're very apprehensive at it. And so just me at this point talking and saying the things. Obviously the music is way too loud, and the microphone is really like bassy, but at the same time, first episode, what do you expect?
Kind of going in depth a little bit about myself and all the things surrounding whiskey-related things for me. Where do I start? I chose the Whiskey Shaman name as kind of a nickname for myself, because I wanted to be a guide, your guide to the spirit.
Mm-hmm.
So what that meant is I like to help people find, in my case, whiskeys that they not only didn't know, but also like whiskeys that best suit you. Because I feel like whiskey is an experience. It's not just taking shots. It's not just ends to a mean. It is like really. Once you get into the geekery of it, it's really complicated and complex and stuff like that. And I like to fit the profile of each person. So that's kind of where that
really is true.
It was a funny name, and I thought, well, it was a little different than some other people and stuff like that. So I just did that. Now, I guess a little accreditation, I guess, is what we can get into next. I am
Okay, so okay, that it's true. But I have kind of not changed. I haven't changed the way I feel, but the whiskey shaman in itself. Hold on, let me get back to me. Let me get back to me. Um, the whiskey shaman in itself is. I can't see myself, so I had to get to another screen. Let me do that one then. The whiskey shaman in itself is it's just a moniker for being a whiskey steward, right? A whiskey steward. I I want to help people with whiskey. That's it. It doesn't mean anything. I do talk spiritually a little bit, and we talk about spiritual things every once in a while. But at the same time, like I keep it really, it's tongue in cheek. It's really tongue in cheek. So if you guys are worried about that or thinking I'm trying to start a cult or something, no, I'm not. It's a different name, and a shaman is a spiritual guide back in the day, right? And so I'm your guide to the spirit world, whiskey, right? And I kind of leaned into that for a little while, and now it's just a thing. And now people know me as that, which I'm grateful for. I'm waiting for the hair and beard to come back to where I actually look like the thing. But I don't know if I'm going to grow the hair out real long. The wifey said she liked it short. I mean, I want it a little longer than this. I mean, it's coming in pretty good, but it still needs some work. Like on the side, you can see it's fluffy. So we're getting there. The beard's doing pretty good though. Anyway, I'm going to move forward in this a little bit more. So let me do that real fast. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. We're at 2 minutes. I'm gonna go to about the 10-minute mark and see if I have quit rambling. We'll see.
Picks. Right now, they're sourcing whiskey and they're finishing it, doing really cool finishing options. They did stout cask finish. They did port wine. They're doing really cool.
I'm talking about the barrel.
And so, take this sommelier thing as I take it to heart. I really do. And people don't look at it like that. I mean, not. I can only talk for this, obviously. I can't talk for anybody else but myself. But what I will say is I take it very serious, and I don't let the whiskey ever take control of me. I'm always.
That's true.
Because, as you know, whiskey is in all terms it's a spirit, and it's a minimum 40% alcohol.
So basically, I'm just trying to put some guidelines down. You know what I mean? Just try and put some lines down to where I'm like, hey, yeah, we talk about whiskey, we drink whiskey, we have a good time, we do all the things, but at the same time, I'm not condoning over drinking or anything like that. You know what I mean? All right, let's get a little further into it. Let's see what's right.
Ones, and so you're basically just a servant, which I don't mean that in a derogatory way.
Right.
Like you're not a servant like a slave, right? That's not the case anymore. Maybe back then, yeah, they were, but because there's some of these whiskeys out here. You can go into Isla Scotches and I can take your head off with peat, or I can burn your mouth out with some barrel-proof bourbon.
That's true. That's so true. Okay, so I'm basically setting the guideline down, which I feel like it was a good episode. It really was a good episode. I can't see myself. I can't see myself. I don't know why I got to see myself, but I can't. I think it was a good episode. It just lacked some finesse. And I know there's been some cringy episodes, especially there's some chemo episodes. I tried, brother. I'm trying to get content out even when I was doing chemo like that. I don't know if anybody. I'm not trying to put myself on a pedestal or anything, but I don't know if anybody else in the community, in the podcasting world, would have done that. they would have been like, I'm taking some time off. I'll see y'all when I get back. But I tried to put content out. YouTube as well. Yeah, I missed some weeks. The content wasn't great, but it was there. So, I mean, again, thank you all for the support. But, all right, let's go back and let's see. Let's just look through. You guys can see, right? Let's just look through the episodes. Let's go way back. Let's go to load more episodes. Can you believe how many episodes there are? Like, this is a big deal, dude. Like, there's so many. I think we're at 50. This one will be 55. Episode 55. Okay. So, episode 1 was the intro. Episode 2 was What is Whiskey? Yeah. Episode 3 was I went to Andalusia and had a good time and I talked about it. That one was pretty cool. This one right here really got me. The Ghost Distillers and American Oh My. I'm trying to have like quirky little things. It was really cool because I got to be on Alan Bishop's If You Have Ghosts, You Have Everything. Sorry. Which spoiler, it's happening again. I was able to get on his Distillers Talk as well, and I was on the Pardon My American podcast as well. Just blessings, the blessings that I have been given. And this was early. This is episode 4, like early episodes. I was able to do that. So super cool. I'm so glad. So glad for that one. If you haven't listened to episode 4, please go back and listen to it. I don't know when I got the mic and everything, so you just kind of have to. And then we did What's the Difference? What's the difference between whiskeys, right? And one of my favorite episodes was this one right here, number 6, the 6th annual Texas Whiskey Festival. We went to the Texas Whiskey Festival, and there was a huge hailstorm, and it broke a window in our house, and my mother-in-law was watching my kids, and needless to say, it was cats and dogs living together. It was a good episode. Bottle hunters allocated in transparency. Hey, that's awesome. Episode 8 was really good too. It talked about distilling. It talked about making the actual whiskey. Not all of it, but it's a really. I feel like it was a really good episode as well. And as you can tell, like a lot of these, like that one didn't have a number. That one has a number, but it's episode 8, and this one is number 8 or number 9. I'm working on it, guys. I'm trying to find the right thing that looks good on the screen for y'all. Number 9 was Where Have All the Barrels Gone? And are you going to finish that? Whiskey, of course. And it talked about the barrel shortage and finishing whiskeys. Is my whiskey turned or oxidated? That was a pretty good one. Whiskey mixology and cocktail time. Somebody like Iceman Can't Cook, he needs to to listen to this one and see how cringy it was. So you're ready to do a whiskey tasting. That one I thought was pretty good. You know what? Let's get into it. Why not? Right? We have nothing else to do. Okay, so I need to get it going. Let it run a little long, but you know. I'm blaring you out.
Welcome back.
So,
Here we go. We're on it again.
mm-hmm.
All right. Tonight, today, whatever it is, I'm going to say we got a good show for you, as I always say. Oh, gosh. Y'all need to let me know if this is getting annoying. You know what I mean? Me just saying we got a good show.
You see over here, it's telling you.
Today we're going to get into some things.
Look, it's talking about it.
Intrigue.
That's pretty cool. It's stayed really long.
And they get you out there doing the things about the whiskey that we've been talking about. Tonight, we're going to get into, so you think you know enough about whiskey that you want to put on your own tasting. What that means, what you can do, what you should do, and what you shouldn't do. So we're gonna have some fun. As always, we're not we're taking it real light. We're not trying to be um, super crazy with it. We're just hanging out, uh, two bro dudes talking. No. Um, so I just did it's still in my mouth and it's amazing. Wow, that could have gone the wrong way. Anyway, I just did a YouTube video. By the time this is out, it'll already be out. Um, and I was doing the other Scotch Malt Whiskey Society offering that I got in my little startup pack, and it was a trip to the seaside, which is a 10-year-old Kulila uh, Scotch, obviously, at 60.2% alcohol.
So yeah. Anyway, I was sitting there listening and not paying attention. Sorry, guys. But to me, that one was super cool. So you want to put a tasting on? Let's talk about putting a tasting on, like, because everybody thinks about a tasting, right? Everybody thinks about, hey, I can have my buddies over and we can have a little whiskey, right? Then number 13 was Moose Tracking Texas Single Malt. I should have done Andalusia whiskey. I'm sorry. We did talk to Moose, and we talked mainly about his stuff. Maybe I need to get Ty on and talk about the actual Andalusia, but I think we pretty well covered it. But at the same time, I don't want to throw shade on Andalusia, because if you guys know, I love some Andalusia. Still Austin, bottled in bond, Texas Red Corn. This one was a different episode because, like, I went to Still Austin, picked up the Texas Red Corn, and talked about that, and actually did a review. I think I did a review on the Texas Red Corn bourbon, which is really it's kind of a different episode. So if y'all like that type of episode that I did, let me know. And then I talked to my buddy Jesse from, oh my God, I don't want to, shit. Sorry guys. I screwed up. I didn't want to click on it. I talked to Jesse, and Jesse, if you don't know him, he is the Still It channel, and he is from New Zealand, and it is legal to home distill there. And I've been his friend for a while, just because I think it's really cool what he's doing. And he's just a cool dude with a cool beard, and I will sing his praises till the end of days. Okay, can whiskey make you smarter? I went over scientific facts that whiskey could make you smarter. And then my buddy Germ was early on in this, man, 17. Germ from Freedom Malts. He's a good buddy of mine. I love him to death. Yeah. We need it. We're going to pop back on real quick. Liquor store mistakes. The first liquor store mistakes I did. Are you reading too much into the label? And then I have Mr. Alan Bishop himself, the alchemist of the Black Forest. He is a fountain of knowledge. He is an amazing person. He is, like, I could talk to him for hours and hours. I'm thinking about doing an absinthe episode with him. I know this is whiskey, but absinthe just intrigues me. And then we talked about Japanese whiskey. That was fun. It was fun. I love Japanese whiskey. I think it was great. And so what was so funny is I was talking to Alan. He had been scheduled on the podcast for a while. And then all of a sudden, Justin Whaley, his apprentice, at Spirits of French Lick, came up and said, hey, I can come on the podcast talking about being an apprentice at Spirits of French Lick. And I was like, hell yes, dude, that sounds really cool. And it was a cool conversation. And then we got into Liquor Store Mistakes Part 2, which there's going to be more and more and more and more. And here's the one online that really blew up for me. Not blew up. I'm not going to say blew up. I'm not getting 10 100,000 views on it. Was number 23, Exploring Craftsmanship and Innovation with Christopher Conrad. Badmo. I had on this, I said that I had scheduled with Ben Quady before his tragic passing to come on and talk to me about his barrels. And that didn't happen, obviously. So Christopher was kind enough to come on, and he's an amazing person. Please go check him out. And then we talked to Secret Chord. So these guys are doing some really cool stuff. They're out of Kansas. I don't want to say Kansas. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm sorry, Secret Chord. I'm sorry, Bill. Don't yell at me. They are doing some cool stuff. They're trying to get some stuff going. So give them a follow. I don't know if they have a Facebook page for Secret Chord or not, but go give them a follow. The top 10 whiskey destinations. This to me was really cool because, like, think about it. Where do you go to drink whiskey? I mean, there's a couple places, right? There's a couple places you can go. But where do you normally go to drink whiskey? Kentucky, Scotland, right? Oh, God. Sorry. I had to have another pour. We're getting crazy. It was really cool. I enjoyed it. And then my buddy JJ Jackson, he was on the Moonshiners Master Distiller show. Super cool guy. Can't wait to get him back on because he's doing some amazing stuff. I was able to pick up his blue corn whiskey. It's really good for a unaged spirit. Really good. To infinity and beyond, and then talking about an infinity bottle. Come on, bro. Everybody needs an infinity bottle in their house. If you have more than 2 bottles of whiskey and you ain't blending, you're stupid. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you stupid. You're not stupid. But you need to be blending whiskey. You need to be trying it and blending it. And yes, she's coming on very soon. Just calm down. Scheduling is hard, brother. I'm sorry. And then we talked to Robert. Oh man, Robert and I. This was one of my favorite episodes because he is a wealth of knowledge when it comes to his brand, and that's what I wanted. I didn't have to push the conversation because a lot of times, and I don't know if y'all have seen it with some of the distilleries I've talked to. It's hard to push that conversation, right? I want it to be guest driven. Y'all can hear me talk all day long, but I want it to be guest driven, right? So that one was an amazing episode. And that was, halfway through it. And then the yeast episode that was a banger on the podcast apps, which a great episode. It was a great episode. And I love talking about yeast. And we have the code. You could do Shaman 5 to get 5% off a Badmo barrel. You can't do that anymore. We're doing a link. And then I talked to Kyle from Crowded Barrel. It was a little weird because not weird. Kyle's an amazing person. Crowded Barrel's doing awesome stuff. It was a little weird because like scheduling and all of that stuff, it got in the way. And so this is where life changed right here. This is where life changed and podcast changed forever. And those of y'all who are sticking around right now, let's get into this one. Oh, shit. I'm going to try not to cry.
Listen to this. 158.3 million pounds, which I don't know what that translates over to in dollars.
Let's just go in the middle.
She's like, you're having a panic attack and you need to calm down. Like your chest is riling because you're freaking out about your leg, and it's fine.
Yep, y'all have it.
And I mean, I was like gasping for air. Like my breaths were so short. They were like, like when you take a full deep breath and you're like, oh yeah, that feels good. My full deep breath was like 1/16 that. It was like a, and I should have known. Sorry. So I was like, okay, if you'd like to do it, it's fine. we just have to ask some questions and do some follow-ups after. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't care.
So this episode to me, I had to talk about it. Obviously, this was right when what's really going on. Yeah, today we dive into what's really going on from Bastards Ball to the eclipse, which we're fixing to have another eclipse. Nothing is off limits, different, but hope you enjoy. This one I had to do. I'm sorry, I had to do this one, and I know a lot of you, not a lot of you, but like I've had some people that say talk about whiskey, and I don't know if those are haters or those are just people that want to just hear about whiskey. So that was right after my diagnosis, all the shit. Then we talked to my buddy Bearded and Bored, which if you don't know him, he has a YouTube channel. He's crushing it out there. He doesn't post as much as I would like him to. Bearded, please post a little more. I just want to see your content. He makes amazing content. He's this awesome human being, and he is so funny. Like listening to this episode, he is such a funny human being. And then I got a little, oh my God, I clicked on it. I'm such an idiot. What is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? I'm sorry. I did not want to click on it. Shit. We got into number 33, which is if you know anything about me, 33. Whiskey Whispers, Spooky Tales from Distilleries of the Dark. These are actual distillery tales that people have had. It's spooky. It was a really good episode. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys did as well. I don't know if you guys are finding this at all fun at all. If you are, cool. If you're not, why is the hospital calling me right now? That's weird. And then we talked to Yellow Rose. Yellow Rose, Michael, super cool dude. He sent me a bottle, which I'm going to review soon. I have a lot in the queue. I'm sorry. But that is no excuse because I just reviewed Devil's River and they just came out. So that's bad on my end. I am sorry, Michael and Yellow Rose. That was a good episode. Oh, 35 was an amazing episode. I feel. If you guys like it, great. If you don't, you need to go somewhere else. We talked about Psalm 3. We talked about the whiskey community. And we talked how I'm just happy to be here. Once you get into it, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so Shire Distilling. This one was kind of a shit show. I'm not going to lie. It was kind of a shit show. It's a short interview. They got cut off. I need to get them back on. It is what it is. It was a very short interview. It was rushed. I'm very appreciative of them for coming on, but at the same time, it was not great. And then this one, 2023 holiday wish list. This was a request from Miss D, who is on the Patreon. She wants to know a holiday wish list for whiskey people. And so I put that out there. It didn't do great. It didn't have great numbers on it, but at the same time, it was okay. And then I did the samples, which I should not have done the samples. My taste was way off. I shouldn't have been drinking during that. I barely had any, but at the same time, that was not great. And I apologize to Shire, and I need to give them a proper review. Branded with CNC Malt. Again, another one. Branded, we need to get back together. You said everything you wanted to say, but it was so glitchy and so out that we need to get on somewhere, maybe on a StreamYard to where it saves it locally. I don't know, but it was really sketch, and I tried to edit it as much as I could out, but yeah. Anyway. So then we get into Canadian whiskey, and this one I had a lot of help with, and it's super cool. It was super fun. Old Canadian whiskey, you know, got a lot of help. Got a lot of help from Richard, from Zach, all them people. And then we talked to Storytime. This was right before I quit doing, the interview type episodes, because my chemo head was getting crazy. And Shane, let me tell you something. You are an amazing person. And I've said this about most of the people that I've talked to. 99.9% of the people I've talked to, y'all have been amazing. Shane is another one. They're an NDP, non-distiller producer, that is creating some amazing blends of whiskey. I need to get into the Old Dragon Bones. I just haven't done it yet. Like I said, I've got a lot on the thing. Number 42 was a little bit different, and we're going to be done after. I'm gonna get through these. I did a short story that was kind of weird. Impact of char and toast on the whiskey. That one was pretty fun. Rambly Man, bar cart must-haves. This one was cringy. Not gonna lie, it was cringy. Diving into regions of Scotland, lowlands and highlands. That one was a good one. And the one that got a lot of comments, Liquor Store Mistakes, the Texas edition. This one got a lot of comments. A lot of people saying that they've found whiskeys out there in the market that say that they're Texas, but they're not. And that one was pretty good. Dry January. Okay, I have to talk about this one for just a minute. I'm gonna click on it because it's new. This one, to me, Dry January, a touchy subject, because it really talks about how I feel about alcohol and whiskey and all of the things. And if you guys are into that, that's cool. But yeah, it got a little emotional. I was very open and raw and all of these things, and I was going through a lot of stuff. And I feel like it was a pinnacle of what I'm about. That's as raw as you can get. Then we talked to Tobias. We did the free and clear live stream. I got told I was free and clear. I kicked cancer's ass, and that's amazing. Then we talked to Taconic. Diving into regions of Scotch, part 2. We still have a part 3, right? It's coming up. And then I talked to my good friend Mitch Weddle. He is an amazing person, and I can't wait to talk to him again. Harmony in the Glass. We're going to do a part 2. Sorry, we are. Whiskey Tunes. We're going to talk about celebrity whiskey. And then Devil's River. That was a great episode. He had so many good comments and so many good things to talk about. It was very guest driven. I enjoyed it a lot. And then San Diego, the newest episode that I haven't even listened to yet. It has a little blue dot. I haven't even listened to this one yet. It was a great show. I'm giving away samples. This is the Sancha. I don't know if you can see that. It's the Sancha. I have a 1 ounce. Actually, this is almost 2 ounces of that to give away. I don't know if I'm giving away that or the Deadlocks, the dark sour cherry ale. I don't know which one I'm going to give away because I have this other one, the peanut butter stout distillate. I'm giving away one. Okay, so y'all just deal with me. Okay, let's get back to me. Let's talk about me for a minute. No, I'm joking. Okay. I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to say it the right way, and it's not going to be right. I love you guys. I really do. You guys have helped me through so much bullshit. So much. And I can't thank you enough. I'm not going to talk about that. It's been hard. It's been real hard coming. Yeah, I know. it's been real hard coming back into the world after being in a space where you're only worried about living another day. in in little words. In little words. I can stop sharing now. Yeah. We're not sharing no more. It was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like, we kind of went over the shit that we were doing. I don't know. It's I can't wait to see the future. Like, this is going to be an amazing ride. We're having a great time. We have some awesome. Oh my god, the best. No, not that none of the other people that we've had on the podcast are not phenomenal and amazing, but we're going to have the best people moving forward. I can tell you right now. Look forward to Dad's Hat Rye. Sorry. Look forward to the Lost Lantern. I said it. I don't care. I'm just going to give you those two. How about that? I'm going to give you those two for right now. That's this week, brother. That's this week. I'm hustling. And that's the other thing. Like, in a podcast, you have to strike while the iron's hot. And I feel like I'm hitting a stride. Oh man, I'm not even gonna say 90. I'm like 80% there mentally. Like, I get chemo head. I talked to somebody recently on a podcast, and it hit me. It hit me pretty hard. And then I couldn't work last week. There was like a day and a half. I just couldn't work because it was getting to me. I could barely drive. Like, I had to drive myself home. Like, okay. Let me explain to you just real fast, and then I'm gonna get off. I promise. Let me explain to you what I call chemo head, right? This is a whiskey podcast, right? So, you ever had too much whiskey? That one night you made an extra pour, and you were like, "Oh crap, what'd I do?" So that feeling of when you're going to bed, your wife's like, "Go to bed." Okay. So you go to bed, and you like have to stick your leg out of the covers because like you feel like the room's spinning. It's like that, but not the good part of it where you're like euphoric and a little like, woohoo, yay. It's more like that I'm gonna pop. Okay, so that is chemo head, and also like a train of thought. Like, I have notes that I write down that are incoherent to everybody, obviously, but I have notes that I write down all the time because like I need to know this specific fact. Here's an entire, here's some stuff here. Anyway, I write down all these notes because like I need to remember that, and then I forget to remember that. It's just a thing. It's just a thing. And they said it could last for a while, a long time, forever, maybe. I don't even know. You know what? I can't wait. It's sitting over there. Let me tell you a little story about the old-fashioned mead real fast, and then I'm going to get off, I promise. So I put the old-fashioned mead in a 1030 barrel, right? Enough for one bottle. And I had it sitting there. Well, it has a silicone bung on the back side of it. That silicone bung blew out. Now, it's 22.5% alcohol. The yeast are dead, dormant, whatever you want to call them. I killed them with alcohol and have racked them multiple times, twice. It blew the bung out. So I checked the mead. I tasted it. It wasn't oxidized. Everything was fine. Really weird, though. So now I have it sitting upright. It hasn't moved for like a week or two, maybe. I'm really excited about it. Just be on the lookout. And Patreons, you might get a little special something. So, because I love y'all. Okay. Long story short. Here's the long story short of all of this. And thank you so much for all the love, the support, comment. Please comment on the episode. Please comment give a 5-star review. I need 5-star reviews, please. Please give me 5-star reviews. I don't want 4-star, really. 5-star is great. You can give a 5-star and then give me a crappy comment afterwards. As long as you give it 5-star. Spotify, Apple, wherever. I'm trying to get seen in more areas so that I can get up from number 6. I don't want to be number 6. I want to be number 1, as we all do. We all want to be number 1, but it's on the Lord's time, right? So I say all that to say this, and I say that a lot. I'm sorry. I say all that to say this. I can't wait for this next year. Give me a second. 24, baby, is going to be amazing. 24 is going to be amazing. I'm not talking politically. I'm not talking anything other than that. I'm talking about right here, right now, what we're talking about. 24, baby. It's all about 24. I'm coming back hard. I'm coming back fast. I got me a new speaker. A new mic. I'm sorry. This mic is great, but it gets a little hot. Okay? It gets a little hot. I'm working on a new mixer. I'm working on getting some different camera angles. Brother, it's going to be great. Doing some on-site podcasts. Yeah. The reason I don't do on-site podcasts, if you listen to the Whiskey Trip, shout out, Big Chief over there at the Whiskey Trip. But if you listen to him, he's on-site with Treaty Oak. Let's just say Treaty Oak. I need to get them on the podcast as well. He's on-site with Treaty Oak talking to them. And you just hear the background noise and all the stuff, which is cool as hell. I'm not saying I want to do that because I like the connectivity of Zoom or StreamYard or whatever, but at the same time, there's something personal about having a glass of whiskey with the person you're talking to. Clinking the glass with them. I've clinked a glass over a Zoom way too many times. So I'm working on that. And if y'all want to support that, you know where to go. But yeah, no, I don't know, man. It's 24 is going to be an amazing year. And I thank you guys so much for the support and for the love and for the adoration that you guys give. You guys are knocking it out of the park and supporting me, especially during my little Instagram debacle. Oh my God. I don't even want to talk about it. I'm so freaking pissed off about it. I just want to murder Instagram. I'm not going to do it. But I started another Instagram page called the Whiskey Shaman 2, and it has quite a few followers, just saying. So it's a backup account to where if my other one gets snuffed again, because on that Instagram page, I reach out to distilleries. I reach out to all these people because everybody's on Instagram. I think I'm going to start a TikTok. I hate to say it, but I think I'm going to start a TikTok before it gets banned. I think I'm going to start one and just start posting some stuff on there and see what happens. Because everybody is on socials right now. Not really people want to talk through email. And when I email info at, I don't ever get a response. I literally reached out to, and I'm not lying. I'm not going to lie, at least 100 different brands. And got 4 responses. So if you guys know, like I said, if you guys know of any brands that you guys want to hear about, please let me know in the comments or shoot me an email, whiskeyshamanpodcast@gmail. Anyway, this is a labor of love that I enjoy doing, and I'm not gonna quit. There's no stopping me. We're just getting started. And I feel like this next year, which is starting right now, is going to be like when I look back at this episode, I'm gonna be like, oh God, where were you? What was going on? That's my hopes. That's my hopes. Is that, yeah, you know, gotta hydrate. Gotta stay hydrated, guys. So anyway, I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. Thank you for loving me through this. I'm gonna say it like that. Um, the ones who have supported from the beginning, you know who you are. Um, I can't thank you enough. Like, um, 24 into 25, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. We're going to have a great time. This is going to only get better. This is going to be the podcast that you guys want to hear. The clients we have, the guests we have coming on, the content that I'm trying to think of, and it's still baby here, but like in 3 months, it's going to be amazing. Like, and it's all because of you guys. You guys have lit a fire underneath me, and now that we've gone through chemo, through all the bullshit. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I want to get real back to basics, real back to like I love you or I hate you type stuff. Like I'm sick of all the BS. I'm just gonna do me. And if you guys like it, great. If you don't, there's probably another podcast out there that you can listen to. But at the same time, I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate you coming along with us. And I hope that this was like celebratory. You know what I mean? We're celebrating a 1 year of a podcast. We're at 54, 55 on this one. Like some extra episodes went out. It happens. Man, I don't know what else to say. But as you guys well know, I love you till the end of days, and you guys are doing some amazing stuff. And just make sure until next time, you keep your spirits up.